Good morning, everyone. Saturday, January 29th. This is the RAS Right Angle Sports Release Show. It is a big college basketball Saturday, about 150 games on the board. So we're going to try help narrow it down with at least one bet from the pros over at Right Angle Sports. If this is your first time joining the show, I'll give you some expectations on what we're going to do here and how it's going to work. So the guys over at Right Angle Sports will be sending me their potential bets. And I say potential bets because obviously these numbers move a ton. When it comes to market influence, it's tough to find people that are going to move the odds more when they bet than Right Angle Sports. And so with more than 600, 700 people watching right now, if we were to just give out the bets, then people are not going to be able to get the same price because these things move. And so we want to try keep it fair and ensure that everybody's able to get the same number that they're actually betting at. So to do it, we follow what is a release procedure. And so there's going to be a game that goes up on the bottom of the screen, and it's going to say set up, and then there's going to be a game. I'll read off the rotation number. I'll read off the time. So you can have your app, and you can scroll through, and you can find the game. You put the bet into your bet slip, and I'll give everybody about 15 to 20 seconds to find it and get ready. And then there's either going to be a go or a cancel. If I say cancel, that means it is not a bet. If I say go, that means you want to bet it as quickly as possible because these numbers are going to take off and they're going to get moving. And the reason that we have to give out cancels when we're trying to release these bets is because if we didn't, as soon as the bet went up, people would just go and bet it. And for everybody watching, there's lots of people at different skill levels throughout. If we were to just do that, then anybody who's not betting quick enough, you're not going to get the number. These things are going to move. As we saw last show, there were a couple books got a little bit antsy and started to move as the bets were being set up. So this is something that we're kind of watching, but there's going to obviously be people from the bookmaking side, from the betting side, who are acting on everything that's being put up because it just goes to show the market influence that the guys at Right Angle Sports have. And so what I will say, too, before we get going is there's a lot of people coming over from the covers side or my audience who are maybe watching this for the first time. And maybe this is the first time that you're seeing Right Angle Sports and you're trying to figure out what they are. Plain and simple, it's a team of professionals that specialize in college basketball, but they bet on a number of different sports. And they're extremely good at what they do and extremely well respected. But even the best people in the world will tell you it's important to manage your expectations. So if this is your first time watching the show, realize that there's going to be one bet. Maybe we get lucky and there's more. Just because these guys are professionals and they're extremely good at what they do, this isn't a guarantee that you're going to win every single thing you see on the show. The best bettors in the world are striving for that high 50% mark. And so it's important to keep that in mind that if this is your first time watching it, to have some level of responsibility on your side to sort of manage those expectations. Over the long term as we go, they're going to be doing this with us here on Covers every Thursday morning and every Saturday morning to the first week of the college basketball tournament. Over that course, they're a heavy favorite to come out ahead. But if we're just looking at one bet on one day, there's a lot of variance that goes in with that. So it's important to manage that and keep those expectations as we move forward. So let's get into it right now. We'll start off with setting up the first game. And then remember, you're going to see it at the bottom of the screen. It's going to be set up, be a couple seconds. It's either going to be a go or it's going to be a cancel. So we'll start with the setup. It's rotation number 727, Utah plus 1.5. And that game is at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's game number 727, Utah plus 1.5. And that is at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So we'll give everybody about 15 to 20 seconds. You can go through your sportsbook account. You can find this in the list of games. And we'll tell you in just a second if this is a go or if this is a cancel. One more time, 727, Utah plus 1.5, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. This is a cancel. Do not bet Utah plus 1.5. This is a cancel. You can remove that from your bet slip. We will not be betting Utah plus 1.5. Another game. We'll set it up right now. Georgetown, Butler, over 138.5. Rotation number 603. That game is at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. Georgetown, Butler, over 138.5. Rotation number 603. This game is at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. Gets started in just under 90 minutes. So if you're scrolling through your apps, this will be very close to the top of the list. Should be able to find it. And again, we're setting up the over 138.5 on Georgetown Butler, rotation number 603. And this game is at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. We'll give everybody just a couple more seconds to get that into your bet slip, get that into your app. Georgetown Butler over 138.5, game 603, 12 p.m. Eastern is a go. This is a bet on Georgetown Butler over 138.5, game number 603. Releases at 138.5. We'll see how quickly this number gets moving in just a couple of minutes. It's obviously going to go. I'm sure at this point there's books looking at the screen. They're already moving around on this one a little bit. So this one's going to take off. So be sure if you have not got that in, it might be too late to get that number at the time, but get moving on Georgetown Butler over 138.5. All right, we got one. Set up another game here. Rotation number 737, Furman Mercer over 139.5. That game is at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. That is Furman Mercer over 139.5. Rotation number 737, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. You're testing me here on the time zones today to add and subtract a couple of hours here. So we'll give everyone a couple of seconds to get that into your bet slip on your app, on your sportsbook. Get it into your ticket. That's rotation number 737, Furman Mercer over 139.5, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Furman Mercer over 139.5. We'll wait for 5 to 10 more seconds here. Give everybody a chance. Game number 737, Furman Mercer over 139.5 is a cancel. Do not bet Furman Mercer over 139.5. That is a cancel. Remove it from your bet slip. This is not going to be a bet as we go forward today. Potential for one more here, I think. While you're watching, if you want to subscribe below, you'll get the notifications as we do this show every Thursday and Saturday, so you can have a little bit of peace of mind on those Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings as you're waiting to remember if this is happening. The subscribe button's below. It'll get you a little bit quicker than any other Twitter feed that you might be watching. YouTube's always a few seconds ahead, so if you're enjoying the content, there's a subscribe button below, and you can join with us and stick with us and Right Angle Sports as we release these bets every Thursday and Saturday morning. We'll set up another game here. Rotation number 715, St. John's Villanova over 140. That game is at 1:30 p.m. Pacific, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mid-afternoon game. Rotation number 715, St. John's Villanova over 140. And this is at 1:30 p.m. Pacific, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those of you that are doing this with your thumbs in the apps, hope you're doing all right, because there's surely a lot of scrolling to get to these mid-afternoon games and be bouncing all over the place. Highly recommend getting up the laptop if you have one for the next Thursday morning show if you're trying to sort of go through this on the cell phone. It's got to be a lot of work. That's game number 715, St. John's Villanova over 140, 1:30 p.m. Pacific, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Give everyone a couple more seconds to set this up and put the ticket into your bet slip. Game 715, St. John's Villanova over 140 is a go. This is a bet. So we got 2 overs on the card now with the addition of 715 St. John's Villanova over 140. That game again, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That game is going to go up. And if you are seeing 140.5, that is a bet as well. There's some differences that are showing up on the screen as that was released. Obviously, those are all going up shortly here as we speak. But if you are seeing 140.5, that is a bet as well. And that will be the proper grade on the pick. So I know we showed 140 on the banner, but 140.5, just as we were going here, probably the more fair price to do it. And I'm seeing people in the chat saying 140.5 was the price that they were able to get. So there we go. UT Chahuna, 140.5 is what I got. We will grade it at 140.5 to keep it fair for everybody that was watching on the show. So St. John's Villanova over 140.5 is the bet. That's 2 for today. Looking at setting up one more bet as it comes in here. Rotation number 306045. Norfolk State -6. The game is at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. That's rotation number 306045. Norfolk State -6, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll give everybody a chance to get around to their sports books. Scroll down to the midpoint again, that messy middle afternoon where there's a ton of games going on. This may also be listed under the extras games. Exactly. Chris Wilson, thanks for the comment. If you have certain apps, they'll have the extra games that are at the very bottom of the regular sheet. So you can scroll all the way down, and then they'll have separate time zones and separate rotation numbers for those at your sports book. So you can go all the way down and you can potentially find it. So again, that's 306045, Norfolk State -6. Game is at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. If you see it in the extra board at the very bottom, that's where it will be for some books if you're not finding it in the regular listing of games at the top. So we'll give people another 5 to 10 seconds to get this into their bet slip, and then we'll see if this is in fact a go or not. 306045, Norfolk State -6, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. It's on the extra boards. This is a go. We are betting Norfolk State -6, rotation number 306045, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. That is now 3 bets that we have. Georgetown Butler over 138.5. St. John's Villanova over 140. Norfolk State -6. One side and 2 totals for the Saturday basketball card. Curious in the comments, how did everyone do when it comes to getting these prices that were posted up? I know there was the 140.5, but was everybody else able to get the -6, the 145 for St. John's, or 140.5 for St. John's Villanova, and then the 138 for Georgetown Butler? Cody AV snagged -6, -109. Jason M said 5.5 was available. So that's fantastic. Jason M, circa just moved to 7 while you were talking. They were great at moving. Well, great depending on which side you're on, but certainly they moved last week, or Thursday rather, very quickly. Bill Andrews says he got them all, which is fantastic. I see some better prices as well. Connor got all and actually got 5.5 on Norfolk, 139.5 for Villanova. So half a point better on each, which is pretty fantastic to see. And again, these will be sent out. We're sending them out on widely available numbers, so everybody's able to obviously maneuver around and get them. Ryan got all 3, which is great. And so there was a question as the feed scrolls on that I saw, and it was asking, why was Utah not a bet? And so again, the reason that there's a setup and a cancel is because if we were just to post them, you see how quickly these move now. If this was your first time, if it was just going to be a post and the bet was up there, nobody would be able to get the same price. And so these comments that we're showing is exactly what we're trying to illustrate, is by doing the setup, go and cancel, it gives everybody the opportunity to get the same price. So there's going to be bets within this that do get canceled as we do these shows every Thursday and Saturday that will just be there to keep everything honest from the bookmaking side and from the better side too of everybody watching the stream. So that's it for today. 3 bets in total. Hopefully everybody, along with all the people that chimed in already in the comments, were able to get them. If you enjoyed the show, if you enjoyed the content, if you enjoyed the format, if you enjoy what the guys at Right Angle Sports do, along with us here at Covers, there's a subscribe button below. You'll get notifications when this show goes live. Help us boost that count up. You'll also get Covers daily. We had some fantastic guests this week. Rob Pizzola, John Sheeran, director over at FanDuel, Hitman, Fabian Suma, Eric Eager from PFF. We had Matthew Davidow from Deck Prism on last week. Some great conversations happening on a daily basis, too, as we carry through the NFL postseason and shift over to college basketball. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in this morning. Let's get all 3 of these wagers. Have a fantastic Saturday, everybody.